So the idea is there has to be a system so you can leverage your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience, your standards, your care. I want to talk about McDonald's. I don't go to McDonald's very often. It's not good for you. McDonald's, right? Multi-billion-dollar company. Amazing. You know who runs McDonald's? 15-year-old kids that are going through puberty. How does a multi-billion-dollar company be so successful when it's run by 15-year-olds that come in late, leave early, and are not interested in whatever they do? But their fries are consistent. Their fries are awesome. That's what your firm should be like. So you can focus on what you do, because the outcome should always be predictable. And the amazing thing is when the lights turn on, it's incredible. Not only for me, it's incredible for my team. The standards keep getting better and better and better because they are improving what we're doing and they're making it their own. So there's a sense of accountability. This is me on the side of the Jersey Turnpike. Flat tire. Eighth flat tire in about 2.5 years. This is me on the Jersey Turnpike at a Starbucks. I'm holding a squeegee. I'm standing next to an exit sign at a Starbucks. They have a system. You know what the system is? Customers come in this way, they go through the line, and they come out the exit. They have a system. How often do they squeegee? I got the squeegee from the person that was cleaning the window. They have a system. I met a firm about 2.5 years ago. Very successful architectural firm. And they said that if they can get a client or prospect to their office, they're theirs. Because they have a system in terms of what's supposed to happen. It's like a ballet. People come and go so the principals can focus on what they love to do, what they're passionate about doing, what makes the money. That's what it's about. So they don't have to do everything. I will say that this one firm is without question the exception. It is not the rule. But they have a system very specifically for getting people into their office, managing the relationship while they're there, and get into leave and exit, ultimately. Okay? And that's what you need to do. So let's talk about this kind of stuff. So I just threw up a couple of examples. I have about 20 of them here. But I'm going to talk about like answering the phone. Imagine you're SOM, okay? And you have 6 receptionists, and they actually answer the phone. Imagine you have 6 receptionists and each of them answer it differently. Imagine you have a new receptionist and you have to train them to answer the phone a specific way. Really draining, right? But if you have a system, if you have a process, if you have a roadmap that specifically states you do this first, you do this second, you do this third, imagine how difficult it would be to train someone who's new, because they will know exactly what to do, they will know exactly what to say, they will know exactly how to react when different situations come up. That's what's supposed to happen, so you don't have to answer the phone. I remember, sorting mail, distribution, you should not be touching mail. Handling billing and receivables, you shouldn't be touching that. Client prospect office visits, okay, we just talked about that. Relationship management, referrals. Relationship management, do a little all the time, not a lot, some of the time. Do a little all the time, not a lot, some of the time. You have to understand that relationships is a process. Relationships is a verb, not a noun. Do a little all the time, not a lot, some of the time. Referrals, it has to be a process. Tony Gordon, who is the past president of the $1 Million Round Table, once said, cold calling is God's punishment for not asking for referrals. You have to have a process. You have to have a process. Prospect inquiries, equipment maintenance. I remember the phone used to go down. And you know what happened? They'd come to me. Why me? The older I get, the less I want to know about this stuff. So why me? We have a process so they know exactly what to do, who to call, what to do. So I don't have to be involved. Because I want and need and demand simplicity. Because when I focus on what I love to do, what I'm passionate about doing, what makes us money, it's incredible. It's absolutely unbelievable. And this can happen to you if you have the courage to see it through. Equipment supplies, purchases, managing email, paperwork. I talk about paperwork because I hate paperwork. Anytime I touch paper, I always make a mistake and I screw it up. So we have a system for handling paperwork. Those are my clients know that you see, I don't do a lot of paperwork. I ask a couple of questions and we put it all together. Simplicity. If I'm not good at it, I shouldn't be doing it, but I need a system to deal with it. Time management, hiring, employee reviews, production of construction documents. Construction phase is a system. Most of our clients, unfortunately, get pushed around. System you have to follow. Change order process, education, licensure, resource management, file organization, etc., etc., etc. We have a book in my office that's probably this thick. Everything that is done in my office, literally, everything that is done in my office has a system. Because I don't want to do everything. I just want to focus on what I love to do. Protecting, solving, helping. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. What are you passionate about? That's what you need to do. And imagine, once again, someone leaves and someone comes in. They need to sort the mail. Why do I have to teach them? It's there. They read it. Yes, we'll walk them through it. But imagine hiring someone, because getting them up to speed will take half as much time as it did once before. Time. This is the third component. Time. There are actually two economies of time. Okay? You've probably only heard of one of them. Okay, you know, like the time management books? You know, they give courses of time management, blah, 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 right? That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the time and effort economy. Time and effort. It's a salary. You come in, you work 9 to 5, and you go home. No risk. That's great. There are people that do this and people that want this, and we need those people. Absolutely. We need those people. Time and effort. We've had situations where clients don't want to go through a transition, and they turn to someone, they say, gee, would you be interested in becoming a principal? They say no, because I don't want the risk. Time and effort. They're selling their time. If you're principals, you are in a different economy. You're in the opportunity economy. It's about opportunity and results. You eat what you kill, right? You eat what you kill. The opportunity economy. What that means is that when you think about time, it's different. Because if you're trying to be a principal, get work, manage a firm, and you're trying to combine the two, and you're thinking in terms of being in the time and effort economy, it's going to be ugly. You're the first one to get there, you're the last one to leave, you're working nights, you're working weekends. You're working all the time. It shouldn't be that way. You are in the opportunity and results economy, which means it's different. For me, this was the most difficult thing or concept to ultimately achieve. And that is understanding that I'm not in time and effort. It's about opportunity and results. So what does that mean? Okay, if we're talking opportunity and results economy, there are actually 3 types of days. Red, green, and blue. And blue days are not blue. Blue days are actually kind of interesting. Red days are vacation days, rejuvenation. Who here has gone on vacation for 1 week and never looked at their email? Awesome. Exactly, it's about rejuvenation, because when you're on vacation, you should be enjoying yourself, you should be embracing your relationship and having fun, because you are rejuvenating. Because when you come back to the office, or you go back to see your client expects you to be playing your A game. You want to play your A game all the time. In my office, okay, yes, we have vacation for a team and blah, 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 but we also have rotating Fridays. In other words, once a month, everyone gets a Friday off, and it rotates through. In addition to their typical red days, because when they are working, I want them to have high impact. That's what you should have. When you're working, when you have a green day, you want high impact. What are those things? I don't know. But you have to define, what are those things that we're passionate about? What are the things that we're inspired to do? What makes us money? Okay? But there needs to be clear separation. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then you have blue days. Blue days are not blue. I want you to think about blue days when you're doing this stuff. Blue days are about preparation. Blue days are about creating something. Think of it this way, football. I'm not a big fan of football. Anyone here likes football? Okay, you know how like they practice all week long? That's a blue day. But then they have a game for 2.5 hours on a Sunday. That's a green day. 2.5 hours. They are practicing hours and hours and hours, but they're only having high impact for 2.5 hours. That's going to make them or break them. That's the difference between cut from the team and getting $15 million a year, right? The idea is preparation is important, but you need separation between the two. It's really important. This is difficult to ultimately achieve, but once you get there, the lights turn on. And the people that we do business with in this room, they probably don't know this, but they might recognize it. We actually have been doing this for the last 6-7 years. And I will tell you, it's not about, excuse me, it's not about not being responsive. We are incredibly, at least I believe, I like to say, we are incredibly responsive. We are probably more responsive than most other firms out there. But the reality is you have to develop a system for dealing with time. I will tell you that you may have seen this before, you probably have not. But what I'll tell you is you are working in the opportunity and results. You eat what you kill. Because if you're trying to be in the time and effort economy, you're going to have challenges.